even though today and yesterday they've been almost flawless weather-wise. I enjoyed working in the warmer weather yesterday, but some days it's not so beautiful. In the flesh, we complain about it being too hot, cold, wet, or even dry. Whenever we are thinking those thoughts, where's our focus? What is our perspective? That's kind of what I want to talk about today, is perspective. Psalms 118, verse 24, it says, "This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." And some of the songs we sang this morning was going to that same point, that we have a day, it's a gift, from God. In those times of being uncomfortable, we're focusing on our flesh and its desires. Each day is a gift from God. As Christians, we are called to go forth and spread the gospel and reach out to people each and every day in every condition. We should sort of have the motto like the U.S. Postal Service has, neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night. Whatever the condition is, we should rejoice in the day because it is a gift. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58 says, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain in the Lord." So, I know that a lot of times we'll go out in our lives, in everyday life, we'll go up to somebody, we'll start talking to them about what's on our heart and what they need to hear and what we feel like they need to hear. And a lot of times, it kind of we feel like it goes in one ear and out the other. We really haven't accomplished anything, but we're told to be persistent. We're told to not let that defeat us. So if in every day we need to rejoice and minister to those around us, how are we going to do that? By starting the day out focusing on inclement weather or being discouraged by people who will not hear us? Our focus from the time we awake should be on Christ. I don't have a very long message today, but I didn't really have a whole lot of time to prepare. But this is what was on my heart. Does everybody remember the WWJD bracelets? I remember back when I was in high school, I actually had one, and I wore it, and there were a lot of people that had different opinions about the bracelets but I know that when I wore it, there were situations that came up, and I looked down, and it readjusted my perspective. It refocused me on what I needed to focus on, and I think that it was a success, that it worked like that, and that was the way it was intended to work. But I know that sometimes life gets the best of us. We become defeated during the course of the day, and I know about a month ago, there was a Saturday that I was working, and Saturdays are hard anyways because they're extremely long days. They're extremely rough. And on this particular Saturday, I ended up going in a little bit late, so I was behind before I even started. The first store, I spilled about a half a pallet of drinks. There's about 8 2-liters that busted on me. And if you don't know what 8 2-liters look like, it looks like a river running across the floor. And so there was strike one. So I get to my next store, and I drop another bottle. It goes spraying everywhere. Strike two. And I'm thinking about this in my mind. This is a Saturday. I don't really like Saturdays. It's so hard to work on Saturdays. It's so hard to get through the day, and there's already 2 strikes. I'm only at my second store, so I get to my third store, and that one went pretty well. But then I get to my fourth store, not my last store, but my fourth store, and I was about done. I remember I loaded up my last load of drinks. I was bringing it out to the floor, and a whole column of them fell off and just busted everywhere. 2 liters were like rockets shooting across the floor. Customers were dodging. It was crazy, but I thought, all right, strike 3. This is too much, And by the end of that tough day, like that, we can become worn down. I know that by the end of that day, I felt emotionally, physically, and spiritually beat to a pulp. Uh, Not only were there spills in addition to the normal stress of getting from place to place in a timely manner, there were also angry managers that were thrown in there, because if you don't get there by a certain time, they kind of get upset, and I can understand that, but that was one more thing that was piled on top. I felt utterly and completely defeated by the end of it all. If we do find ourselves taking our eyes off Christ during our daily walk, the enemy will take that opportunity to take a cheap shot at us, if nothing else, just to distract us more. The story in Joshua chapter 6 and 7, where the Lord delivered Jericho into the hands of the Israelites. Chapter 7, verse 2. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east side of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, Go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai. And they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few. So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai smote them about 36 men, for they chased them from the gate even unto Shebarim, and smote them in the place going down. Wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. So they took their focus off of where it needed to be. They gained this great victory over Jericho. The next city that they were supposed to take, they thought, we don't need to consult God. We don't need all of us to go in. Just send a few of us. We'll go in there. It's no problem. Cakewalk. But that's where we get in trouble. That's where we open up the cracks in our armor. And we do this each and every day. We think, well, we've got this. Let's just go do it. We don't need to pray or ask God for help or strength. This is something I do all the time. Every day we fight a spiritual war. If we go against the enemy in our own strength, we will be defeated. However, if we focus on Christ and trust in His provision and His strength and promise to take us through battles, He will bring us through victorious every day. Those around us will see an example of Christ that will inspire them to want to know more about the one who can bring forth sunshine in a gloomy day. And I know that it's extremely easy, especially if you wake up and it's raining outside or snowing or sleeting or the weather we had the past few weeks, or if you wake up and you don't feel good. I know I've woken up before and had a headache, and I think, how am I going to get through this day? It's already a terrible day, and that's when the enemy can kind of come in and just direct the rest of our day for us. I mean, he can come in and just throw one thing right, and we trip all day long. And if we start out the day like that, then we're doomed to be just emotionally and spiritually defeated by the end of the day. And I've had plenty of those days, and I understand how wearing it can be. But we shouldn't preconceive that we're going to fail during a day. We shouldn't base our emotions, our outlook of the day on something as small as weather or the way we feel physically. There are people who are hurting. There are people who are sick. There are people who are sick that are defeated before they wake up every day. There are people who are extremely sick or terminally ill who wake up and have victory over that. And I think that's what we're called to, is to have victory over that's already there. That's in front of us that we're facing. If we choose to keep our focus on Christ, then we can overcome that with the strength that he provides. Um, Colossians 3, verse 15 says, "And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful." We should be thankful each and every day that we have the opportunity to reach those around us. Um, if we don't take that opportunity to reach those around us, then we are hindering, and we don't. I mean, we shouldn't do that. That's disobedience. That's a sin. So I mean, we should take every opportunity that we're given, because every opportunity is a gift, and we should see it that way. And I know that there have been times where I've been at work and I'll be behind. I'll be busy. I'll be feeling rushed. I need to get to the next stop. I need to get over here. This is what I got to do. And there's people that come up to me. They're just, you can tell by their appearance, by the look on their face, that they're defeated. They're already defeated. And when the Spirit moves and tells you, you need to speak to this person, you need to talk to this person, you need to have a word with this person. If you blow past that, you don't talk to them. I mean, that's an opportunity, and they may very well be defeated all the rest of the day. And I know that I've had experiences where I have passed on the opportunity to talk to somebody, and it grieves me later, because I thought, I could have taken a few minutes just to talk to somebody, but I was too busy in my own world, thinking what I needed to do to get this done or get that done, or what I needed to get to next, that I passed on that opportunity. And we need to get to a place where we don't pass on those opportunities, that we take every opportunity to talk to people around us, or whoever that's going through different situations, because they may not have an answer. They may not know the strength and the power that they can have without us speaking about it. But that was pretty much all I had for today. We need to wake up and each and every day and see it as a gift, and see it as an opportunity. And if we crush that opportunity before we even leave our house, what good are we to the world? What good are we to our neighbor? What good are we to a family member? I mean, we're not accomplishing anything if we're defeated ourselves.